Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Wednesday. We have 9 games today, starting once again at 7 o'clock. So let's go ahead, get right into it. As always, appreciate you guys to the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow on Twitter at the DFS Process for updates, and let's get started. So once again, we have some nice top-end studs to pay up for on the slate. We have Russell Westbrook checking in at $11,000. Matchup is great here against the Bucks, who play at one of the fastest paces in the league. Westbrook's been on another level. He only took 8 shots last game. Still finished with 81 DraftKings points, 24 assists, 21 rebounds. On another level in terms of assisting, and rebounding. It was spectacular to watch. That game was an absolute shootout, obviously. Not every game is going to go almost 300 points. But it's a spot where he should continue to get a lot of usage, obviously, against the Bucks here today. He's averaging 70 in 2 meetings against them. And the price tag is still reasonable. It's $11,000. It hasn't moved in like a couple weeks now. He's still been at this $10,900, $11,000 range. He's kind of been deserving to be like 11.5, closer to 12K, especially on DraftKings. Pretty tough to fade when you get those bonuses for double-doubles and triple-doubles, which he does basically every day. Playing like 38 to 40 minutes now. It's just a really good spot to continue to rock with Russell Westbrook. Other guys that I do like, especially when there's nobody that is above 10K at point guard that's kind of closely priced to Westbrook. You know, Fox, don't know if he'll play today, probably not. They don't really have much to play for now. And then you have Trae Young is $9,600, so he doesn't give you as much upside as Westbrook, and the price tag on him is expensive at $96. I don't want to play him against this good Suns defense. Then you have Damian Lillard, who's been playing a lot better, but I would still rather go up to Russell Westbrook than play $9,400 Damian Lillard. Brogdon is $9K. Now the Sabonis is back. Even if he plays, I'm not paying that much for Brogdon. I hope that Brogdon maybe sits 1 or 2 more days, at least this game, just so we can get to LeVert and Sabonis today. And then Morant, coming off of a dud, got dejected late in that game, but he was having a terrible game, only 2 of 14 shooting. It's a fine bounce back spot here. This game has one of the higher totals on the slate. Basically, every team that goes up into Minnesota, they come away with like 115, 120 points. Don't expect anything different for the Memphis Grizzlies today, so I definitely want to get some pieces of the Grizzlies, at least one. And then Sexton, $8,100. I don't want to pay that much for him. McCollum is 8K. I mean, he's all okay. There's a chance that Norman Powell misses, so that would help if he is indeed out. But 8K for McCollum is kind of appropriately priced. Chris Paul coming off of a 70-plus or a 69 DraftKings point outing last night. He did go into overtime, but he was great in that game with the assists. Had 6 stocks. It's a back-to-back for him. They could ease his minutes a little bit, but I don't want to pay $75 for Chris Paul. I think some people might chase him, but that seemed to be an outlier performance. I do like Kemba Walker, though. He's $7,500. He's going to be playing without Jaylen Brown today, and that's always a good spot. Whenever you get one of those 3 Celtics out, the other 2 just benefit immensely, and Kemba Walker's been playing a lot better recently. The minutes have been high on him. He's missed a couple of games. He's missed the last few games with the oblique injury, but he's good to go today. It's a good spot against the Magic here, and just the way Kemba's been playing recently, he's been hitting his shots, and I do think he can have another good game here without Jaylen Brown, so I will go ahead and put him in at the other guard spot. And then we have, Cole Anthony, $7,000. I'm not going to pay that much for him. I really like, DeLon Wright would be a core play if Fox is out again, coming off of 55. He had 8 stocks, almost had a triple-double, but it's a good spot against Indiana. They also play super fast and don't play great defense, so both that game should be another high-scoring affair. And then you have Campazzo on the Denver side. He also looks great today, just because if we look at the Nuggets depth chart today, they are very depleted at the guard position. They only have a few guys that are eligible. That play point guard / shooting guard. You have Rivers, you have Shaq Harrison, you have Campazzo. The entire shooting guard spot is out today. PJ Dozier is not going to play today, and then the other guys have already been missing games. So Campazzo should be looking at mid to high 30s in minutes today against the Knicks. They're a good defense, but I like the way Campazzo plays. He gets others involved. He kind of looks for a shot at times, and he can get you some steals as well. I do like him a lot at this price tag, just given how depleted they are in the guard spot against the Knicks. And Jokic is also questionable. If he misses, then the entire slate changes because You're going to want to play Michael Porter Jr., you're going to want to look to like Gordon, and then whoever starts in place of Jokic, if he is out, like maybe it would be Millsap, or maybe they start Bol. So a lot of good plays at guards today. Still looking at the point guard position. If we're going below $4,600, you have R.J. Hampton, Ricky Rubio, both at 45. Both been playing great the last couple games. Hampton played 35 off the bench, put up another 40 spot. He looks like a good option if you wanted to go to him. And then you have Ricky Rubio. I think Rubio would be probably a little bit of a safer option just because he starts. But both guys, I think, are fine value plays. And then in the 3K range, right now, there's nothing that really jumps off. Maybe Rivers if he starts, or maybe they start Shaq Harrison at $3,000 in place of PJ Dozier, but we'll have to see on that. Moving on to shooting guard, you have Bradley Beal at 95. His price tag is fine. I'd rather go to Westbrook, but you can play both together if you wanted to. LeVert is $8,800. Getting expensive, but if there is no Brogdon, it's a great spot to pay up for LeVert again. I like LeVert more than Middleton, more than Booker. The Bucks are on a back-to-back, so we could see them do some funny business and maybe rest Giannis or maybe rest Middleton/Holiday because they've been playing a lot of games recently. And then we have Buddy Hield. Shot the ball pretty bad last game, 5 of 16, but he still put up 45 with the double-double. Expect him to bounce back today in terms of shooting. The other stuff will still be there if there's no Fox, and matchup is good, so I like Buddy Hield. And then I don't want to really go to 7K plus for Clarkson. Smart looks okay, but I'd rather go to Kemba at $600 more. And then we have maybe like Dylan Brooks, DeLon Wright. DeLon Wright looks to be the best play. And if there is no De'Aaron Fox, which I don't think he'll play, if he does play, then we can make some changes. But right now, I love these 4 guards. They all look very, very good today. And then we have, besides DeLon Wright in the 4K range, you have Terrence Davis, comes off the bench, but he plays good minutes for them, got up to 31 last night. She'll play high 20s, low 30s without Halliburton, and if there is no Fox and no Barnes again. Then we have Gary Harris. He's only $4,300. He only played 9 minutes. What the heck? That was super odd. Don't know why he only played 10 minutes, because they only had like 9 guys active. But I don't think he got hurt in that game. Anyways, maybe, I don't know what they were doing with him. But Seth Curry is coming off of a good game. Put up 34. He's been playing better recently. 4K, still a nice price tag on him. So he would be in play. Grayson Allen's in play. And then that's kind of the main guys to look at. Small forward, you can play Bradley Beal if you wanted to, but MPJ looks good if there is no Jokic. If there is Jokic, he's still playable, but he's not as much of a great play against the Knicks. I like him a little bit more on FanDuel. I'd rather go down to Buddy Hield. I'd rather maybe look to Anthony Edwards. And then we have like Ingles is 67, Bogdanovich is 68. They're kind of priced where they should be, I would say. For some better value plays, you can look to a Kyle Anderson, who's 56. He's been playing great. Been pretty consistent all season for the Grizzlies. There's no Jaren Jackson Jr. today, so his minutes will be pretty secure. I would expect him to get into the low 30s today. And the matchup is just so good against Minnesota for a guy that does a little bit of everything. Points, rebounds, assists, steals. I think you'll have no problem hitting you mid-30s in DraftKings points. Upside is in the 40s. And then other guys besides Anderson, we have Bridges coming off of one of his best games of his career. You have Gordon is only $4,900. He's not been playing as much minutes as we thought he would. But they might be forced to play him a little bit extra today without Dozier. So I don't mind going to him at $4,900. He did play great when he was with the Magic against the Knicks, if that makes you feel any sort of way about him today. And then for more value, Terrence Davis, you can play him at small forward. Sumner is questionable. If he's out, then we'll see who starts in his place. I mean, McDermott's been playing pretty good for them. He started last game. Justin Holiday's only 4K. And Jeremy Lamb's 39 if he happens to... He's been missing a lot of games as well, but if they happen to start him in place of like Sumner, then he would look okay. So those are the top guys to look at. Moving on to power forward. Starts with Giannis. He's in 10-9. He's coming off of a game where he played 37 against the Nets. Didn't really get his shot to fall. It was falling early, and then he was in foul trouble and then kind of lost his rhythm. Still finished with 60, so it was still didn't kill you if you played him. But we'll see if they decide to still give him big minutes today. Wouldn't be shocked if they hold him out, because this is a third game in 4 days for them. And he's coming off of playing a couple of big minutes against Brooklyn. But we'll see. If he does play, it's a great spot against Washington, so I do like him. Sabonis been playing great, 10-6, if you wanted to go with a lower-owned pivot. Because I would expect Giannis to be more popular than Sabonis, but if there's no Brogdon, then we expect Sabonis to continue to eat, especially on the assist department. And then you have Michael Porter, you have Kelly Olynyk's been playing great, but Houston against this Philly defense, don't want to get to too much of those players. And then Bagley is only 54, coming off of a tough game for him. Was in foul trouble, 5 fouls in just 31 minutes. It's a good spot against Indiana, just with they're undersized right now. If there is no Turner, no Batadze, Sabonis is definitely a help. But I will go back to him. If people jump off of him, that's fine. I think he's still in a good spot. If there's no Barnes, no Fox, and no Halliburton, which he's going to miss a few games at least, then do want to go to Bagley. I want to go to at least a couple of these Kings guys against the Pacers, and Wright and Bagley are both very inexpensive, both with big upsides. And then other guys at power forward, you have Gordon at $4,900. You have Wagner, played like 40-plus minutes last game. He's $4,900. Carmelo would look good if there is no Norman Powell. Might even start if that is the case. And then you have Bertans, hit-or-miss value play, but it's a spot where this game should go like 240-plus total. Expect Bertans to hopefully hit some of his shots. And that's kind of the main guys to consider. Quickly touching on center, we have, obviously you can pay up for Jokic. I like Jokic a ton today. I like Sabonis a lot. Then we'll have to see if Giannis is in today or not. Then you do have some good value here in the 6K range. You have a good price tag on DeAndre Ayton at $66. You have Holmes at $6,500. And then the 5K range, if there is no Tristan Thompson, who's questionable. If he's out, then Robert Williams would be a tremendous option at only $5,400. And then Nerlens Noel is questionable. If he misses again, then we saw them give huge minutes to Taj Gibson, and he is still $3,700. He will be a fine value play. So just gonna leave center open for now. And let's look at FanDuel. Okay, on FanDuel point guard options, Westbrook continues to be $11,000 plus. He always looks a little bit better on DraftKings because you don't lose a point for turnovers. You get those bonuses for double and triple doubles. But he's still playable on FanDuel. You do have some other guys that are better kind of point per dollar plays, I would say, or kind of make a case to play over Westbrook. It's kind of looking at some of the cheaper options here, like Kemba Walker at $76 without Jaylen Brown. I like his price tag. Ja Morant is sitting at only $7,000. He looks great. Now, they did price up Ricky Rubio on FanDuel, so he's not that much of a play. I'd rather go to Cole Anthony. I'd rather go to Campazzo. He looks better on DraftKings, but still playable. And then DeLon Wright if there's no Fox, especially when there's not that many other guys in the 5K range besides like Campazzo. And Cole Anthony would be a core play. And then the 4K range, there's really nobody I would rather look to. In the 3K range, there's nobody. You can look to maybe Rivers if he starts, but I don't feel great about that. At shooting guard today, we have Beal at 91. His price tag looks pretty good. I like him more than DeRozan, more than Sexton. LeVert looks probably the best if there is no Brogdon at $8,400. You could look to McCollum if you wanted to, but I like Smart. I like Clarkson at their price tags. And then I don't want to pay $55 for Seth Curry. He's been playing better, but that's a tough price tag to get to. I'd rather go to Dylan Brooks. And then in the 4K range, we have some good value, especially in the 3K range. 4K range, you saw Okoro have another big game last night. In the 3K range, we have Terrence Davis at only $3,800. Expect him to play good minutes off the bench again. You can look to Grayson Allen at 36. He starts. Bradley will start, but Bradley's not that much of a fantasy asset. Small forward, we have expensive Chris Middleton, 84. Expensive Edwards. I like Michael Porter the most out of those three. But Buddy Hield looks the best out of anybody above 7K for me, just because I don't think Fox will play, and then assuming those other guys are out still, Hield will get you so much usage, play big minutes, and expect him to hit more than 30% of his shots that he only hit last night. Then Anderson is 62, so he looks a little bit better on DraftKings. I think you can go to like a Bogdanovich over him, or go to a Ingles, or go to there's somebody else that looked appealing. Maybe we can look to Kevin Porter at $6,900 as a tournament option. And then you have some okay value here. They priced up Rui, so he's not that much of a play anymore. If Anthony starts, if there is no Powell, then he would look good at $4,700. Now, they played Ignas Berkankis a ton of minutes last game, but I really don't know what the Magic are doing with their rotations. Moving on to power forward, it's a spot where he can get up to Sabonis at 10-3. Sabonis looks great if there is no Brogdon. If Giannis plays, he looks great at 11-4, and then you have Tatum. I like Sabonis, Giannis, then Tatum if I had to pick. Don't want to pay 93 for Christian Wood against Embiid. It could get into some foul trouble against Embiid, and his price tag is kind of expensive now. I'd rather go down here for like a Bagley at 65. It looks better on DraftKings, but still fine on FanDuel. One guy that I really like on FanDuel just based on the price tag. He hasn't been doing great, but I think it's a spot where you can go to Aaron Gordon here. He's $4,300. His minutes might go up a little bit today without PJ Dozier, who plays like 20-25 minutes. If he gets you like 28 to 29 minutes today, I would expect him to be fine against this Knicks team. They play big with Randall, and then they play Gibson. They play, if Noel starts, Randall and Noel together. So expect Gordon to play big minutes. Hopefully, not big minutes, but at least high 20s, maybe low 30s. 43 is just too cheap for him. And then at center here, you can go up to Jokic if you wanted to. I like Jokic the most, and Embiid. And then for value here, you have Holmes, you have DeAndre Ayton at $6,300. You have Jakob Poeltl. And then assuming that Thompson misses today, I'll go ahead and just put in Robert Williams for now. It's the first game on the slate, so we'll definitely know before lock. Right now, I like Robert Williams, assuming that there is no Tristan Thompson today. And that's about it for this NBA slate. Got some good things to look at, waiting on some injury news, which will definitely change things up. But first look at the slate. So thank you guys for watching. Best of luck today, and I'll see you all next time.